Stats SA constructs the national poverty lines every 5 to 10 years, and it shows that the 460 Rand child support grant is way below the poverty line. According to the Economic Justice and Dignity Group, the latest adjusted national poverty line is a mockery. So let's speak to one of their researchers, Julie Smith, who will give us insights into these adjusted numbers. Thank you so much, Julie, for making time. So Stats SA telling us that you actually need at least, 624 Rand a month to afford the minimum amount of food required to survive each day. According to these adjusted national poverty lines, the 460 Rand child support grant clearly is extremely low. Is this an indictment on government?
Absolutely. It's not only that the food poverty line is 25% above the child support grant, but if we look at the proper nutritious diet, which we track, then it shows that the child support grant is 38% lower than what it actually costs to feed a child. So we're sitting on a situation here where millions of our children require proper nutritional intake. And the statistics that are coming out are showing us that the child support grant, which really is the only intervention in millions of households, is 25% to 38% less than what a child actually requires. And noting also, because of the massive high levels of unemployment, families also eat out of the same pot. And any income that comes into a house is shared. So basically what we're doing is that we're condemning another generation of our children to inequality. We are condemning them to being stunted cognitively and physically. And ultimately what it means is that our future outcomes of education, of health, of economic possibilities, and certainly social order is severely compromised because government is not investing in children, and the time to invest in children is right now.
And as you've mentioned, the thing is that most of these people who receive this grant don't only just support the children, right? They support their families with this amount. It's not just for the needs of the children. Do you get a sense that there's an appetite for the amount to be adjusted?
An appetite from whom? I mean, certainly there's an appetite from mothers and from children because, mothers are forced to sacrifice their own bodies now. They're sacrificing their own nutrition for their kids because they will do whatever they can to make sure that their kids eat properly. So the mothers we speak to are saying that they're really, really struggling to ensure that their children eat properly. But mothers do not have the power, they do not have the control to ensure that the child support grant is increased. Government has that power, and government thus far has shown that it's not interested in increasing the child support grant so that our children can eat properly and that mothers can look after their kids properly.
Yeah, and often the excuse government gives is that there's just simply no budget for it. We're dealing here with a government that's financially constrained, no money to even implement the basic income grant that they've been promising for many years now.
I think the thing that people don't realize is that political economy is all about choices. It's all about our priorities. Where's the best place to put money now? We can bail out the now, or we can make sure that our children eat properly. And if our children eat properly, then down the line, it's going to be much cheaper. Because if kids do not eat properly now, then it means we're going to have a massive health burden. Our education outcomes will continue to be very, very poor. Our economic outcomes will be very, very poor. And certainly in terms of social stability, we're going to have no peace in South Africa if millions and millions of our kids are stunted cognitively and physically. So really, in terms of a financial decision, It's much cheaper to invest in children now than it is to invest in children later.
Julie, thank you so much for chatting to us about this and for making time. Julie Smith is a researcher from the Economic Justice and Dignity Group.